I was invited to the Pokemon 2024 World Championships in Hawaii, and it was absolutely incredible. So today, I'm gonna go over everything that happened and showcase all the amazing footage I got in my journey. I've never really done IRL content before, so hopefully you guys enjoy the new style of video. But before we start, I just need to give a massive thank you to the Pokemon Company International for giving me completely free access to this event, as well as adding me to the media team, which was full of some of the internet's greatest Pokemon content creators. It all still feels so surreal. Anyways, it's now time for me to show you just how this unforgettable dream journey went down. Now, day one for me was unbelievably hectic and was actually more like 2 days in one because of how time zones work. So basically, I took off from Perth Airport in Western Australia at around 6 AM, landed in Melbourne later that day, and waited for 4 hours for my next flight to Honolulu. And I was absolutely dreading this next flight because I just hate flying in general, and this one was going to be 10 hours. Luckily though, it turns out the two guys I was sitting next to on the plane were also going to Worlds, which is a crazy coincidence, and thankfully gave me people to chat to throughout the flight. I also ended up doing a bunch of Dynamax adventures in Pokemon Sword to cure my boredom. And to my surprise, I actually managed to get a shiny Tornadus, which is pretty crazy. Once the uncomfortable flight was finally over, we had landed in Hawaii at 5:50 AM the same day. No, not the next day, the same day I took off. Yep, I'm a time traveler. Crossing the time zone border made it so I technically landed in Hawaii 10 minutes before I took off from home, which was really weird and something I've just never experienced before. And oh god, I've already been up for nearly 19 hours because I just cannot get proper sleep on planes. And I've still got this entire busy day to get through. Now you might be thinking, oh Jaden, why didn't you just go to the hotel and get some rest before exploring Hawaii? Well, that just simply wasn't an option. Because 1, my hotel check-in wasn't until 4 PM, and 2, something was about to happen in just a few hours that I refused to miss. And that would be the media team's early preview of the pop-up Pokemon Center store 2 days before Worlds even starts. Going to one of these has been a dream of mine for so long, and with all the amazing beach and scuba diving themed merch, I was gonna go crazy. So after rushing out the airport to drop off my luggage at the hotel, I went straight to the convention center as fast as possible, and in no time I was lining up with all the other creators in this ridiculous heat to lose money on Pokemon merch. We then got escorted into the scorching hot convention center, met the one and only Pikachu, and off we went with an hour in the Pokemon Center to shop till our wallets dropped. Now I'll admit it, this footage isn't the best. I know it's pretty shaky and I'm moving pretty fast, but that was just due to how excited I was, as well as carrying stuff around. But yeah, it was just so cool to be able to come here early and witness my very first pop-up exclusive Pokemon store. The merch was amazing, the theming was amazing, and oh my god, I couldn't believe this was happening. Now the two things I needed from this shopping spree were 1, the Worlds themed ukulele, and 2, the Bear Walker skateboard. Thankfully, these could both be obtained at the same booth, and I didn't know it at the time, but this amazing skateboard is only one of 750 to ever be made. So an incredibly rare and exclusive item that I'm so happy I got to add to my collection. You'll see this a bit more in detail later. Now I kid you not, with the sheer amount of weight I was carrying with my giant bag of merch, heavy skateboard box, and being in this ridiculous humid heat actually made me get super dizzy and feel incredibly fatigued whilst waiting in line to check out. Also, not to mention sweat was running down me like a tap. Too much information? Too bad. I need you to understand how horrible it was. I look back at the experience now and think it's pretty funny, but I just remember at the time thinking, oh, can this heat just kill me already? But after I finally checked out and the damage to my wallet had been done, I Ubered back to the hotel and waited to check in. Finally, after landing like, not 6, like fucking 10 hours ago, I finally got a room. I don't know why I have 2 beds. Holy shit. I spent so much money on Pokemon stuff. I haven't gotten to unpack. I'm dying. Alright, here's a look at the unbelievable amount of crazy merch I gathered today. And although I did plan to go through everything one by one in video with the setup I made, it turns out I totally forgot to because of something horrible that happened. F me. No, not because of how much money I spent, but I was just like setting up all the Pokemon merch I bought nicely for a cool photo. And this f***er decides to fall over
I don't remember where it was. Fall down here, and his fucking ear's broken.
Rest in peace, Pikachu's ears. Hopefully super glue can fix them up. Now, I did do some exploring around later, but for the most part, that's how my incredibly lengthy, nearly 30-hour day 1 went. I got an amazing sleep that night.
Good morning, USA. I have a feeling it is going to be a wonderful day.
It is time for day 2. Look at my Pokemon shirt. Also, before we start the day, here's me going on about my wanting to bring back Street Pass phase. Okay, so I brought my DS, 1 because Pokemon games obviously, and 2 because I for some reason had this weird obsession of trying to get Street Passes again. Such like a nostalgic feeling for the DS, and as you can see, I've gotten a few Street Pass, well, at least 1 Street Pass. I really wish the Switch had something like Street Pass where you can just randomly connect with people. Let's see. Street Pass hits, is it just 1? No, oh, we got 4! Oh my god, and the event hasn't even started. That's actually quite a lot. Sweet. Street Pass is such a cool feature because then you get to play all the mini games in the Street Pass app. I especially love the puzzle one. Hopefully we can get a few more later. Now, seeing as Worlds doesn't actually start until tomorrow, today was an exploration day where I spent a majority of my time at the Hilton Village and the world famous Waikiki Beach. Now, what was really cool was just how much Pokemon stuff was scattered around the village to celebrate Worlds. From the giant, incredibly vibrant Worlds logo at the entrance to the village, to the giant Charizard and Nanoblock statues in one of the resort's cafes, to a glass box filled to the brim with Pikachu plushies. It was just so cool seeing this stuff in the wild. There were also these giant Pokemon Pop vinyl boxes for photos, and Hilton Village on its own is already beautiful and was just so fun walking around. And as if this place wasn't already photogenic enough, a couple-minute walk will get you to the iconic Waikiki Beach, which video really doesn't do justice to how amazing it looks in real life. Now, seeing as Worlds officially starts tomorrow, the badge pickup for all the competitors and spectators started in the afternoon. However, you would not believe the size of the line for this. What you're seeing right now is just the outside part. The inside line for the badge pickup was even bigger, so I just decided to leave that for later when the lines shrink, and ended up doing something a little off topic to Pokemon in the meantime. That's right, you probably didn't guess it, I went shopping for FNAF merch. Yeah, I'm almost as big of a FNAF fan as I am a Pokemon fan, and Australia just doesn't get much FNAF merch, and when we do, it usually sells out pretty quickly. So seeing American stores I've never been to, like Hot Topic and GameStop, with full shelves of FNAF merch was honestly really cool. And oh my god, look how much stuff I bought. I was already worried how I was going to bring the Pokemon stuff home. Bro, I really got the FNAF fidget spinner. What the Freddy doing? Later on, I went back to check on the line for the badge pickup, and oh my god, it's bigger than before. Turns out I could just tell security I was a part of the media team and could just skip the line entirely, seeing as we had a totally different room to collect our badges. The rest of the day, I spent around Hilton Village and the beach to watch the beautiful Hawaiian sunset, seeing as I was just way too tired to do that yesterday. And oh my god, sunsets here just look amazing. And not too long after that, it was time to wait for the Pokemon drone show to start, which I was incredibly excited for, seeing as I saw so many clips from last year's one in Tokyo. What was really cool was that all the media team got together and found a spot on the beach to watch the show. And it was just really good because as we were waiting for the show to start, it was a great time for people to introduce each other without having the adrenaline rush of clearing out the Pokemon Center. And once the sky went dark, it was time for the show to begin. What was really fun about the show is how when they positioned the drones to like make the new Pokemon, they would only have a few lights lit up, which made everyone try to guess which Pokemon they were going to show next. And I'm pretty sure I heard someone say it's like a Smash Bros reveal, where you're trying to figure out and guess who it's going to be next before it's shown off.
Love this.
Let's go!
Oh my gosh, it's a Pikachu.
Purple Chew? That's not a Pokemon. Oh my god.
Oh, he got it.
He's chill with it. Frillish. That's my call.
Oh my gosh, it's a ball.
The plane, the plane.
I know.
Oh!
He's using Alley Drum.
Gimme Ghoul. Terrastal, the turtle.
That's Psyduck.
Please be Psyduck. Yo! Let's go! Just don't evolve. Stay as a Psyduck.
Oh, that's a Riolu with a mask.
Oh, that is a Riolu with a camera.
Oh
Mew!
gosh, it's a Mew. You know, eventually it'll be a Riolu.
Maractus? Ponyta? One of the Pokemon? Hey!
Let's go. Best episode of Who's That Pokemon I've ever seen.
Yeah, literally. These ones you actually can't predict the first second it's showing up.
He's coming.
He's so big. That's not a Pokemon. Yeah, unknown.
That's the new regional variant of Unknown.
Yo, they should make a regional Unknown, and it's just like a different font.
calligraphy.
Yeah, literally. Mantike. Text 2024.
Oh, World's 24.
Yeah, World's 24.
Legends today.
They announced the release date. Sheesh.
They're reforming a box. It's the GameCube 2.
No way. That was the drone show of all time.
The show was absolutely incredible, and it was just so cool watching it with a massive crowd of other Pokemon creators. And that was day 2 complete. See you tomorrow for the actual convention.
Okay, it is 5 a.m. I'm tired. I did so much walking yesterday, but I'm up early because the opening ceremony to Worlds is in 2.5 hours. And I want to get there early because the lines yesterday for badge pickup were unbelievably long. Like, it was ridiculous. Want to get there super early so I can actually get a seat because I assume it's gonna, like, fill out pretty quickly.
Yep, glad I got here early, because I think there's already a line forming over there. Wow, I just zoomed into nothing.
Nope, there was like literally no one there. I genuinely don't know why I thought there was a line forming. And not only was I totally wrong about a line forming, seeing as I was literally 4th in line, but it turns out after waiting for like 2 or 3 hours, I can't even remember, we were literally told media can go in early and I could have slept in an extra few hours. But here we were, we're finally in. Everyone was excited, we could all go up to the giant inflatable Pikachu, and not too long after, the doors finally opened and all the staff were clapping and cheering as everyone walked into the venue, which was just so cool. I managed to get a seat really close to the front, thankfully, and after a bit of a wait, it was time for the opening ceremony to begin. They opened up the event with a couple of Hawaiian dances, a few speeches, and then off the players went to compete, and off I went to explore everything the venue had to offer. From the trophy display, to the Pokemon cutouts everywhere, to all the different rooms on the 3rd floor. There was a room where vendors sold Pokemon cards, a room where people could trade cards, and a room that showcased all the nominated art pieces for the TCG illustration contest, which was actually really cool to see. It's a shame that some of these were so close to becoming actual Pokemon cards, but at least they got to be displayed here for everyone to see. One of the rooms was also dedicated to showing stuff from the history of the previous Pokemon World Championships, starting all the way back in 2004. So they had a bunch of the promos and plushes sitting around and made me wish I had them. But I really can't complain because I still can't believe I'm actually here right now. Now, something that was actually a lifesaver throughout the convention was the fact that there was a room for all the media members to go to and either meet up with other creators or just rest for a bit in a nicely ventilated room. Because let me tell you, walking around the venue in this heat for any more than 5 minutes and you're already questioning if you're gonna have a heat stroke. At one point, as I was charging my phone in the media room, I encountered a shiny Flabébé in Pokemon Go, which is super cool. Speaking of Pokemon Go, throughout this event, there were raids and research tasks that gave out an exclusive scuba diving costume Pikachu that I was determined to get the shiny of. Now, I didn't really hunt for it much today, seeing as I was too busy doing other stuff, but I refused to leave this journey without the shiny. Also, what's really cool about actually being here at Worlds is that during this event, for every scuba Pikachu you catch, there's a 1 in 5 chance it'll have this amazing looking Hawaii catch card behind it, as like proof you actually attended the event. I've seen other people get catch cards at other Pokemon Go events before, but I've never gotten one myself until now, and it just looks so good. A couple of other things that happened included getting to demo the new Pokemon TCG Pocket app that's coming out later this year, which seems to have a bunch of original cards that don't exist in physical form, at least for now. And on my first pack I opened, I got this amazing looking Articuno EX, like alternate art maybe? And then on my second try, I got an EX of an incredibly underrated Pokemon that I never hear anyone talk about. It was Charizard. And then at some point throughout the day, I queued up in this massive line to have a chance at getting an autograph from one of 4 iconic faces at the Pokemon Company.
We are lining up to enter a lottery to get autographs, and I've been told the chances of getting in are 1 in 6, but if you don't roll a 6, you can go back in line.
So yeah, you roll this dice, and if you get a 6, you've won a free autograph signing session for tomorrow. So let's see what happened on my first roll.
Oh, let's go! Let's go!
I rolled a 6 on my first lineup and was able to score an autograph session with Furusawa Atsushi, who was an iconic Pokemon card illustrator for the company in recent years. A lot of his cards are some of my favorites, so this was super cool to win. Now that pretty much sums up day 1 of Worlds. And to end off the night, I walked back through Hilton Village and went to Waikiki Beach again to check out the weekly Friday night fireworks show. The fireworks show was super fun and a great way to end off our 3rd day in Hawaii.
Okay, I meant to get my reaction of seeing how many street passes I got throughout the day, but it just did it itself. We got 10! We got 10 street pass today. Oh my god, like, today was the first day that World's actually begun, so it makes sense, but 10 street passes, that's so cool.
Time for McDonald's breakfast and photo op time.
So as that clip suggested, I started off day 4 by going to the convention center super early again, seeing as the media team can go on the main stage to not only get photos and footage for their content, but so that we could also take a massive group photo together.
We are heading up to the stage for some photos before day 2 starts.
Behind the scenes of Worlds. Let's go. POV, you're a competitor. This is what you see.
Gimme go! Gimme go! Gimme go!
Look at Cramorant just chilling up there. How sick would it be to own that card? Look at that. That is so cool.
There's the trophies. I think this is for the Unite players.
It was super cool to be up here, considering you get to see more of the Pokemon cutouts and mini environment sets up close, as opposed to seeing them far away in the seating. I also got probably one of my favorite photos from this Hawaii trip on the center stage, which was super cool. And then right before the doors opened to the public to begin day 2, all the creators rushed to the center as quickly as possible to get an awesome group photo. Now to start off day 2 of Worlds, I actually watched a couple of games. What? Going to a championships tournament and watching the games? I can't believe it. But it was mostly so I could speedrun the intro to Pokemon Black 2, so I could participate in a couple of events held by Quick Panic and Absol Blogs later on. A little bit after that, a couple of fellow shiny hunting creators and I went to the illustration contest room again, but to draw our own Pokemon cards, because that was just something you could do there. I was given Munchlax as my Pokemon, and here is all our amazing pieces of art. Watch out, Da Vinci, we're coming.
If you ever think you're safe, remember that this Lechonk exists. Collect bodies, tackle chores.
I then left the convention center for a little bit to head over to a shopping center 10 minutes down the road because they actually had a trading card event going on, which I wanted to check out. There were obviously heaps of really cool cards there, but one thing I was disappointed to see was that people were already reselling merch from the pop-up store for absolutely ridiculous prices. Okay, to be fair, I was eyeing out someone reselling the Pikachu figurine, seeing as I broke mine, but they were charging $80 for it, which I think was nearly 3 times the cost I got it for a couple of days ago, so I passed on that. I then went back to Worlds to spend a painfully long time at the back of the line to get my signature. And what was really cool was that everyone was given a free poster for the signing of like the Scarlet and Violet pre-order promo artwork, which I absolutely love. And once that was done, it was time to whip out the DS for some mini events. Basically, Quick Panic held a full odds group shiny hunt, where he wanted to get as many people as possible to do full odds 1 in 8192 shiny hunting, to see how many encounters can be done and how many shinies could be found in just 1 hour. I didn't really have a target in mind for my hunt, so I just roamed around the early routes of Pokemon Black 2, with my camera awkwardly pointed at my DS with a horrible amount of glare and me sitting in an unhealthy position to get comfy. And it was just super fun having, I don't know, probably like 50 people together just locked into their game shiny hunting at the same time. And although I won't spoil what happened because this isn't my event, but I will say the goal of finding at least one full odd shiny within an hour was ticked off.
What? Let's go!
After that, iconic shiny hunter Absol Blogs held an event for Pokemon Black 2, where we all tried to get 2 FunFest medals. For those who don't know, medals are basically the game's equivalent of achievements, with the first one being having over 30 players connecting together in a FunFest, and the second one being achieving a score of 1,000 in a FunFest. Now, I won't really explain what that means because it's a bit complicated, and again, I'll let Absol showcase how it went down on his channel, of course. And overall, it was just incredibly fun. That pretty much sums up the convention side of things of day 2.
There is a fucking line to get to the escalator to leave. To leave. There's a line to leave. What the fuck?
And pretty much the rest of the day I spent exploring Hilton Village. I don't know if I've made this clear yet, but it honestly still feels like you're at the convention here anyways, because there's just so much Pokemon themed stuff around here, including a massive lawn with a stage and activities to do, and pretty much 90% of the people around here are here for Pokemon. Oh yeah, and I didn't mention this yet, but throughout the day I'd also been doing an unbelievable amount of Scuba Pikachu raids, because I just needed that shiny. And then, out of nowhere, whilst I was just walking around the beach, I get the shiny from one of my research tasks. I was so unbelievably happy because it's like a cool souvenir or trophy from the holiday. I was so thrilled. And because it was a research task, I didn't actually catch it until the next day so that I could use my video camera to record me catching it, as well as seeing the stats. So here's that clip. You're not going to believe what you see.
Okay, so I pulled out my actual camera because I've been using my phone to record the whole time to show you something amazing. In one of the... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. In one of the World Championship quests, look what I got. We got the shiny Scuba Pikachu. Oh my god. I literally like spent like $80 buying Pokecoins so I can like do a bunch of gyms today, specifically today. But then I get this last night after buying the coins, but that's alright. I can try and get a second one. But oh my god. The shiny World Scuba Pikachu. I haven't seen the stats yet, obviously, but let's have a look. It's from a field research, so it might be pretty good. 3, 2, 1, and oh my god. 98! What the hell? We take those! Oh my god. And I've also got the trade binder here, because I went to Leonhardt's trade night last night. I went before it got super busy, when there was only like 20-30 people there. Got this awesome shiny Dustox. I got this Worlds promo from last year from Yokohama. And I also got this Tatsugiri illustration art because it just looks sick. But no way we get a 98 IV shiny Scuba Pikachu. That is sick.
That night I watched the Pokemon drone show again because it was just so cool. And that wraps up day 4. One more day of the championships remain.
Day 5. Final day of Worlds.
Now, most of today was spent chatting to other creators, as well as just soaking everything in again, seeing as it's the final day. Also, in the media room, people were putting down their playmats for everyone to sign, so I decided to do that myself, and I'm so glad I did, because it makes for such a sentimental piece to remember this experience and all the people I met. Also, it was Beldum Community Day Classic today, which obviously meant I managed to get a bunch of shinies. I also forgot to mention this earlier, but yesterday, my Pokeball Plus device actually caught me a shiny Phantom and Unknown, which is crazy. I'm so glad they didn't run away. Towards the last few hours, pretty much everyone gathered back to the main stage to watch the finals and see how the championships ended. It was unbelievably crowded with no chances of getting a seat unless you were there hours earlier, but that's fine. It was honestly just so cool hearing everyone cheer when something crazy would happen or after someone won a match, and without a doubt, the best part was in the actual finals, where pretty much it was looking like one of the players was going to win the best out of 3 in just 2 matches, which unfortunately is way less exciting than both of them having a win and then going to like a third final round. But then the other player's final Pokemon tanked what was looking like the final attack and then retaliated and won the match. And then after an exciting final match, Lucas Arabelli was crowned the VGC 2024 World Champion. Now don't click away from the video just yet, because there's still heaps of stuff to show, including the closing ceremony, as well as my final day in Hawaii before I head off to Japan, which will almost certainly be showcased in another video or two. So at the end of every Pokemon Worlds, they always announce a bunch of new stuff, and whilst a lot of people were hoping for news about Pokemon Legends EA, it didn't really suit the theme of the event and was mostly competitive stuff shown off. Starting off with the announcement of the Dynamax and Gigantamax feature for Pokemon Go, which is actually already in the game now, the announcement of Armarouge and Darkrai as playable characters in Pokemon Unite, and then Psyduck got revealed as a playable character, and what's even better is I'm pretty sure he can't even evolve into Golduck, which is such a huge W. Golduck haters stay winning. And what was also funny is that Psyduck got the loudest cheer out of all 3 of them. And then probably my favorite announcement came from the TCG, where they're reintroducing trainers Pokemon. You know how back in the day they used to have these sick cards of like Blaine's Charizard, Team Rocket's Mewtwo, or Misty's Staryu? Well, they're bringing those back with the modern characters, and that whole trailer rightfully got crazy reactions from the crowd. What's even crazier is not only did we get the location and date of next year's championships, but we also got 2026's as well, with them both being held in California, in Anaheim, and San Francisco. I'm 100% planning on attending both of these and all future worlds, because this was just a dream come true and one of the coolest experiences ever. And with that, my very first Pokemon Worlds has come to an end. That night, I watched the final drone show, saw some really cool fire dances at the beach, and said goodbyes to all the people I might not see again until next year. Anyways, I still had one more day in Hawaii before Japan.
Okay, it's my last full day here, so now I have to make the awkward choice of what to, like, ship back home. I've got so much stuff. We've got all the Pokemon Center merch here, and then we got a bunch of FNAF stuff. Now, I would just, like, use it as carry-on for the plane, but I'm going to Japan for, like, 3 weeks tomorrow. And you know what? Shipping all this wouldn't be too horrible if it wasn't for this behemoth, this giant skateboard, and I had to get it, but it's just so heavy and so big. I can't even put it in my suitcase, that's how big it is. So now I've got to figure out how to ship it back home without going bankrupt.
Turns out, no shipping company would quote me less than $1,000. So I guess navigating Japan with 2 suitcases it is then. Oh my god, that's a tongue twister.
Okay, holy sh**. I just opened the skateboard box for the first time because I'm trying to figure out how to package it. I can't get it in with the box, so I'm gonna probably just have to ditch the box. But oh my god. That looks so fucking cool. The detail, it's like all raised. Oh my god. It is actually sick. Yeah, shame because this box is pretty cool. But wow, that's cool. Look at that.
Now, most of today was mainly spent either around shops or Hilton Village again, and I ended up finding the real-life equivalent to FNAF. Also, it was weird just seeing all the Pokemon stuff gone or being packed up everywhere, considering how much Pokemon overdosed everything looked just yesterday.
Not even 24 hours later, and the convention center is completely stripped of all Pokemon. Never mind, Pikachu's dead in the corner. Snorlax, what did they do to you?
Not a whole lot to document today, but the following morning I got up super early to get to the airport, ready to have my long overdue dream holiday to Japan. And I even got to see the Pokemon plane that some of the competitors got to travel on, seeing as it was right next to my plane, and that was just like a perfect way to wrap up the world's holiday. I was sad to see the event in Hawaii go, but I was also hyped to finally be in Japan after dreaming for so many years. So yeah, overall, my first Pokemon World Championships experience was amazing. I got to meet so many online friends and new faces, got to go crazy at the Pokemon Center store, literally felt like I was in the Pokemon world, and made lifelong memories. I cannot wait to do it all again next year, and I hope you enjoyed this different style of content, because I'll definitely be doing the same for Anaheim in 2025. Anyways, I do plan to eventually do a similar style video or videos for my mega Pokemon-filled Japan trip. But for now, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and thank you all so much for watching.